Hi guys, it's Mrs. Millison. Okay, we're going to start Unit 3, and the first thing we're going to learn about is, or explore further, are Boolean expressions. We already know what a Boolean is. It's just a variable that is going to return either true or false, so we're going to work with those, okay? Okay. Let me get all my files set up here. Alrighty, I think I got it all set up. Okay, let's just remind ourselves what a Boolean is, okay? A Boolean is just a data type. It's a primitive data type. So we'll say is August. It's August when I'm making this video. And we're going to set this equal to true. Okay, so now if I print is August, it should print true. Okay, I'm going to save it in Unit 3. And then we shall run, because I hopefully shouldn't get any errors. There we go. We've got true. Okay, and of course, if I change this to false, it will run and give me false. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some different types of Booleans. We're going to use operators. We're going to use like an equal equals operator to test if two values are equal. We're going to do not equal, which is an exclamation point equals, greater than or equal to, less than, and so forth. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and do some doubles. I'm going to do height, length, and width. Okay, so we'll do, let's see. Now I'm just making up some numbers. We'll create some variables that we can do some comparisons with. Okay, so of course you notice that my length and width are the same thing. Okay, I'm going to create one variable, okay, just so we remember how to create it, but then if you don't mind, for the rest of them, I'm just going to print them. Okay, so I'm going to test the height and the length. Okay, so I'm just going to do height, or how about HDT and LGT. Okay, so I want this to tell me if the height and length are equal. Okay, so I'm going to use my height variable, and I can't say equals because that would change the value. I'm going to do equals equals. So now this Boolean, HDT LGH, or LGT, I'm going to change it to a T, will give me false because height is not equal to length. Agreed. Okay, let's print that out. HGT LGT. Okay. All right, so I should get a false down here. I'll get two falses, but from the other one. Okay, it's telling me that width is not being used. Yeah, I know that. We're going to use it in a second. Okay, so there's my second false from this statement. Okay, so we can do different types of comparisons. So equals equals, it's for ints and doubles equal to each other. Okay. Let's do one. Let me play with the numbers first, and then we'll do one with text. Okay. All right. Let's do, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to just do some print statements. Yeah, I noticed I did that too. Okay. So now let's say height is not equal to width. Okay. So we have exclamation point equals. This is for ints and doubles not equal. Okay, to each other. Of course, that should print true because they're not equal. Height and width are not equal. Okay, and there's my true. Okay, all right, let's do some greater than, less than, that fun stuff. Let's do height greater than or equal to width. Okay, and of course, oops, my space in here. So you can do greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, you can't do greater than or less than. Okay, we'll do that coming up. Okay, we're just going to do one for right now. And of course, height is greater than width, so this should also be a true. Okay, and there's my last true. Okay, let's do, oh, I know. Let's do length is less than width. Okay, is length less than width? No, it's not. It's actually equal to it. So I should get a false. Okay, it's not equal to. If I want to know if length was less than or equal to width, I'd have to put an equal sign in here. So be careful of that. And we'll see these Boolean expressions, especially when we start doing loops and some other stuff. Okay, let me show you one more thing with numbers. I'm going to create some ints. I'm going to do num1 is 30. Oops. Okay, I spelled 2 correctly. That would be good. Okay. We've done some greater than or less thans. Let me talk about modulo. Okay, if I do, oops, if I do num1 modulo 2, now let's see, num1, 30 divided by 2 is 15, which means there's a remainder of 0. Okay, so if I say if this is equal to 0, what does that tell me about num1? Okay, it tells me it's divisible by 2. It's also even. Okay, let's see. Num1 is divisible by 2 and even. Okay, so I can use my modulo to see if something is even. Now, this is true because when I do take 30 and divide it by 2, the remainder is 0. So this should yield me true. Oh, forgot my comment character. Oops. Come on. Forgot my comment character. Sorry about that. I put a lot of notes in when I code so I can keep track of everything. Okay, so it told me it's true. What if I want to determine if something was odd? Okay. So if I took num2 modulo 2, what would it equal? Okay. Now it can really have, okay, if it was odd, the remainder would have to be 1. Okay. Now, if you think about it, these are odds. Num2, oh goodness, is odd. Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and compile this. So this should also be true because 25 is an odd number. Okay, so there's my last 2 trues for those 2. We can also use this Boolean to really determine if a specific variable, variable is divisible by any number. Like if I wanted to know if num1 and num2 are divisible by 5, I could do modulo 5 equals 0, which means it is divisible by 5 because there's no remainder. Okay. I could also do, I don't have to do equals here. I could do greater. If I wanted to see if modulo 2 was greater than 0, then that would mean it would have any remainder, okay? Not just a remainder of 1, but it could have any remainder. So if I want to know if a number has a remainder, or I want to know what that remainder is, I can use my modulo, okay? Okay, the last thing I want to show you real quick, and this is just a little heads up, this little precursor. We'll do more of this when we get to strings. We deal a lot with strings. But over here we did the equals for numbers, okay? We can also do it with strings. Okay, hold on. do word1 equals hello. And okay, now these words are not the same. They're both the word hello, but this one's capital and this one's lowercase. So I can't necessarily say word1 equals word2. And this may work now, but this doesn't always work. Okay, so when you're dealing with strings, what we're going to do is we're going to do the dot equals. Okay, and this will yield you a Boolean. Okay, so this should say false. Okay, and indeed it does. And we've talked about our string. We've talked about our string methods. Okay, and equals is one of them. But just remember that you want to use the dot equals when you're dealing with strings, but the double equal sign when dealing with numbers. Okay, and we'll see that throughout the whole course. Okay, when it's better to use one over the other. Okay, all right, that's it for Boolean expressions, and we will use these a lot coming up in the next several units. Okay, see you next time, guys.